My name is John H. Watson, Doctor of Medicine. In the year 1881, after being wounded during the Afghan War, I returned to England with my health broken and my finances nearly exhausted. London was overwhelming, and living alone was far too expensive. I needed rooms, and I needed them urgently. Through a chance meeting, I was introduced to a man who was also searching for a roommate. He was described as intelligent, unconventional, and deeply absorbed in scientific pursuits. That man was Sherlock Holmes. I found Holmes working in a hospital laboratory, excitedly announcing a chemical discovery that could identify bloodstains with absolute certainty. His enthusiasm was intense, his manner unusual. Before I could tell him anything about myself, he turned and said calmly, "You have been in Afghanistan." I was astonished. He explained his reasoning step by step, my appearance, my injuries, my manner of walking. It was clear that this man possessed an extraordinary power of observation and deduction. We agreed to share rooms at 221B Baker Street, and within days we were settled together. Living with Holmes was an education in itself. He had vast knowledge of chemistry, criminal cases, and anatomy, yet knew nothing of literature or astronomy, and cared even less. He explained his philosophy simply. The human mind is like an attic. You must stock it carefully. Useless facts only crowd out useful ones. I soon learned that Holmes was not a police officer, but something entirely new, a consulting detective. When the police were baffled, they came to him. And soon they did. One cold morning, Holmes received a message from Scotland Yard. A man had been found dead in an empty house at Lauriston Gardens. There were no wounds, no signs of struggle. Holmes invited me to accompany him. At the scene, we met Inspectors Gregson and Lestrade, who clearly considered Holmes an annoyance. The victim was identified as Enoch Drebber, an American visiting to London. On the wall, written in blood, was one word: RACHE. The police believed it was the name Rachel, implying a woman's involvement. Holmes disagreed immediately. It is German. It means revenge. Holmes carefully examined the room. Footprints, dust, the position of the body, even a wedding ring found on the floor. Piece by piece, he reconstructed the crime. There was poison involved, he concluded. The murderer forced the man to choose between two pills. The inspectors laughed at the theory. Holmes did not. Soon after, another murder occurred. Joseph Stangerson, Drebber's secretary, was found dead in his hotel room. This time, the cause was a stab wound directly to the heart. Once again, the word RACHE was written nearby. Now the pattern was clear. Holmes explained that both men were linked by a terrible past and that the killer was carrying out a long-planned revenge. Using a group of street children, whom he called the Baker Street Irregulars, Holmes traced the movements of a mysterious cab driver seen near both crime scenes. Holmes laid a trap. One evening, a cab was summoned to Baker Street. When the driver entered the room, Holmes suddenly seized him. "You are an accomplice in murder," he declared. The man did not resist. His name was Jefferson Hope. Jefferson Hope was gravely ill and knew death was near. Before facing justice, he told his story. Years earlier, he had traveled across the American desert with a group of settlers. Starving and lost, they were rescued by a powerful religious community in Utah. Among their leaders were Enoch Drebber and Joseph Stangerson. Hope fell in love with a young woman named Lucy Ferrier, whom he had grown up with. She returned his feelings, but Drebber desired Lucy for himself. Using his authority, Drebber forced Lucy into marriage. Broken by fear and despair, Lucy soon died. Hope swore revenge. For many years, Hope pursued Drebber and Stangerson across America and eventually to Europe. When he finally found them in London, he decided their fate. He prepared 2 pills, one harmless, one deadly. Drebber was forced to choose. He chose death. Stangerson attempted to flee, but Hope followed and killed him in his hotel room. Jefferson Hope died shortly after giving his confession, escaping the gallows. The police claimed credit for the case, but Holmes did not care. "To know that I have solved the mystery," he said, "is enough. As for me, I realized I was witnessing the beginning of something remarkable, a career that would change criminal investigation forever." And so began the legend of Sherlock Holmes.